Today on Big Dumb Monsters, Chris and guest host Arthur are in search of dog soldiers, werewolf, thriller, action flick, whatever you want to call it. Chris and Art are watching it. So here we go today on Big Dumb Monsters.
It's a perfect night, mystery and horror. The air itself is filled with monsters.
There we are.
All right, so I just have this idea that I'm going to change your intro and not tell you about it, and then one day you're going to play that when it gets to Godzilla. Instead of doing his screech, it's going to be or something.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, but you won't know, and then it'll happen.
Yes, as you can see, Nick is not here this week. We have Arthur, freshly sprung from Seacott. It's been our running joke here. You've been.
Oh my God, that's not unrealistic.
Yeah,
that is where I will be later on this year, I'm sure.
We had to trade Nick though, so that's why he's not here this week.
Yeah,
yeah, it was
a prisoner trade.
It was a one in, one out type of thing. Yeah. I should probably start the movie.
Oh yeah, it's a short movie, thankfully.
Yeah.
Well, not short,
but. We are watching Dog Soldiers.
2002.
Yes. I have never seen this movie before yesterday.
I didn't see it when it came out in 2002.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's a pretty highly rated werewolf movie, so I've definitely checked it out, and I dig it, and I've watched it multiple times, and I'll watch it again.
Yeah. Oh, no. I fucking loved it. It was awesome.
Good.
I completely had this mixed up with another movie. I realized, there was a Sci-Fi Channel original movie with army soldiers who turned into werewolves. And that's what I thought this was. That's why I didn't watch it for so long.
Oh.
Because I'm that looks like fucking garbage. Why would anyone, how can that be good?
Right.
And then we picked it, for this week. And I'm glad I was mistaken.
Yeah, no, I dig this movie. This is on the top 10 for sure of my werewolf movies.
Yeah, no, American Werewolf is still my number one.
Yeah. Yep.
This is up there.
I couldn't tell you exactly where. I'd have to really think about it or finish my database.
Yeah.
But it's up there.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what number 2 would be.
That's hard. American Werewolf Virus, maybe.
Definitely. Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, no, everybody just loves that movie.
Widely reviewed. Blood and Chocolate. Cursed. Cursed.
Oh God,
I'm sorry. Are we working from the bottom up or?
Yeah. I don't know.
The only thing good about Cursed is that the werewolf giving the middle finger.
I just fucking hated that.
It gets me.
Yeah.
Because I'm at that point, I'm you don't care about werewolf movies or good movies, so you're just doing stuff. And I thought it was funny if it's just doing stuff.
Yeah. I really have to think about this question because as of right now, Dog Soldiers is by default.
It might be too.
Number 2, yeah.
I just don't want to commit to that, even though this is, almost as well rated in my brain.
To sum it up, it's basically Night of the Living Dead, and you replace zombies with werewolves and confused people with soldiers.
Yeah. Or hear me out. This is what that movie Werewolves should have been.
Yes.
If they had made something like this, simple, gritty, violent.
Yeah. TJ, you actually liked Werewolves Within. I did not.
Oh, Werewolves Within? I didn't hate it.
I immediately figured out who the werewolf was after the first werewolf attack scene.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I didn't. I have to watch it again because I know I was digging it, and then I went by the end of the movie, I was just this kind of sucked.
As far as werewolf movies go, it's not high on my list. It was a very, very watchable film. But if I'm thinking about werewolf films, it's
Yeah, I do like Sam Richardson. The dude, he's from that show Detroiters.
Oh, okay.
With Tim Robinson, which is a fucking hilarious show.
I only know him from one thing. I haven't seen all of it. It's the I Think You Should Leave.
I think he's in that too. Yeah, he's the the announcer for the Little Buff Boys contest.
All right.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of that show, so that's over my head right now. But you got a 5-year-old. It's real hard to watch something like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch this with him around. He'll tolerate this.
Buddy. Don is very vocal about
Got
this
our own
movie.
dog soldier.
He did bark at a few things in this movie.
I mean, the hyper-realistic dog-like makeup. Yeah, maybe that's what he saw and barked at.
Well, the actual dogs too in this movie he barked at.
Yeah. I mean, they telegraph so many things in this, like, oh, I can't kill the dog, and then he keeps the dog in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, by no means this is fine cinema.
No, you don't go into a movie like this.
No,
you don't go to Rambo expecting, an Oscar.
Yeah, she is hot. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Oh, yeah, Lily.
Yeah, I may have had to watch that scene where she's dancing to I Saw the Sign once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw a picture where it was a picture of her in a nice gown going out for some sort of gala or whatever, and then it was her as the AT&T girl, and they're like, they've been robbing us of this for all this time.
You
We
want
should
to fucking
boycott
cell
AT&T.
phones? Yeah.
How dare they put that on screen? I'll be switching tomorrow. Let's just say she's
Yes, we
very
are
well
a
endowed.
Verizon lover, buddy.
I know. Yeah. I'm surprised he's not Boost Mobile.
Yeah. All right, Bubba. Why don't you go sit in your chair?
But this movie, I mean,
my one criticism is I wish it was about 10 or 15 minutes shorter.
This comes in at 1:45.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
It deserves to be the goofy, cheesy 90 or not 90, pseudo 90s and actiony 90-minute.
Yeah.
Cool 90.
90 minutes, perfect. You're in, you're out. It's bloody, it's violent.
You don't need more than that unless you're trying to win an Oscar.
Yeah. The part that kind of drags on is, once they're in the cabin, there's a lot of fucking just,
unnecessary repetitive stuff.
Yeah. I think you can trim a lot of that.
Trim the conversations down. Don't make as many trips up and down to check on people.
You want to go inside?
Yeah. Don't have as many times where I gotta go check on this person. I'm gonna come down here and have a conversation with that person.
Yeah. Well, this is annoying.
This is gonna be a problem.
Come on, we go inside.
Normally I could tolerate it pretty well, but like I said, I got a dog that's going senile that screams pretty much 24/7.
Come on, we're gonna go inside, Bubba.
It's really burning my patience. He's like, be quiet.
Yeah.
It's too late. Well, now it's the Arthur show, so yeah, that means we got to get the.
Donna, come here, bud.
Well, we got to come up with our own flag because I don't want the Russian flag coming down. Although USSR is not Russia, so yeah. So dog soldiers, la 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 la, and there's Chris.
I'm coming.
I died. I tried, and then I ran out of things to say very fast. So I was trying to tell you earlier, for me, a joke is made either by, I can't remember, for some reason, I only have 2 criteria, and I've forgotten one of them, but the one that matters to me is commitment to the bit. Now, there is a reference made later on in the movie that I think it's the only reason that character is named that. Later on, the character Spoon gets completely demolished and turned into a puddle.
Yeah.
And the one guy says, "Where's Spoon?" And the other guy says, "There is no Spoon." This came out right after The Matrix.
Yeah.
They named that character Spoon.
Just to hammer that joke.
Just to liquefy him and say that joke. I love it. I fucking love it because I always thought it was a stupid name.
I also like TJ's joke. She's not 5G, she's 42 double G.
Oh, we got a hydrate already?
Damn, all right. I missed that. Huh?
She's 42 G. Oh, yeah. That's what you said.
I'm already well into my second beer. This is
this is great.
Yeah.
So I love the cold open. It's for for people that aren't going to be part of the film, it's the right length before they get eaten by the werewolf.
Yeah.
Like in American Werewolf in London, it's got that same build, except one of the main characters is there, so it has to be a little bit later on to develop the characters. Since both of those people get eaten, that was perfect.
Yeah, we don't need to know
get
them.
kind of a brief idea of who they are and what they're doing.
And they're dead. Yeah.
And it was done at night, aggressively, with not a lot showing. You know it's werewolves, but like, what do they look like at that point? One of my criteria is how long do you have to wait to see a werewolf?
Yeah.
Also, it depends on whether he's a protagonist or an antagonist. If it's a protagonist werewolf, it's a little different.
It is a bit in this one before we see a werewolf, if I remember correctly.
That first scene,
that's
quite
true.
make him out.
We get like the Jaws beginning, basically.
Which is okay with me.
Yeah.
Because that leaves you something to build to.
Yeah.
We did get to see
Gives
it.
you a little
We know the
teaser.
monster. There's no games. There's no bait and switch.
I wish, another thing they could have cut out is a little bit of the back and forth between the soldiers in the beginning too, because we do get to know the characters, the main characters, but there's a lot of fucking disposable characters in this movie who are gone quickly.
Yeah, so we don't really need a lot of time with each of these guys and this build up here.
Yeah,
I understand why we had to meet Coop and learn about his dismissal, if that's the storyline you're going with. Him not getting into the special forces.
Yeah.
That's podcasting.
Yeah.
But I don't know that
special
that's
forces
necessary.
takes the short plane to missions.
Yeah, yes they do. Oh boy, Tropic Thunder really hurt us.
Yeah.
I have problems tonight. One of us is saying one of those words.
We were watching Tropic Thunder right before this, so yeah.
Bad things are going to happen. Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily need to be the plot. Them doing this mission is enough of plot.
Yeah.
I didn't need the whole special forces soldiers trying to capture them thing.
Yeah. That does kind of overly complicated. But yeah, these guys they're on a training mission. They're in the army or whatever, and that's why they don't have real guns. They're on training thing.
Right.
Yeah. Get right to it.
Yep. I do. What was I going to say? Brain melted. In this movie, they looked a little different, which is a big plus for me. Oh yeah, they went with a hybrid style lycanthrope with the dog legs and tall and thin. They actually, this is part of the trivia, they hired dancers, not stuntmen.
Yes. Yeah, we saw that.
So that they would move gracefully as the wolves. And you know what? Now that I've read that,
it kind of pays off. In the one scene
works.
Where I think it's toward the beginning. I think when they're first trying to get to the cabin, when we first kind of see the werewolves, we really only see them in silhouette,
right?
In quick flashes, and they're moving pretty quickly, and
right.
And they're moving pretty gracefully, they're moving naturally, you think a wolf would,
yeah,
like a wolf man would.
Right.
Going back to the description, like you were saying, that they're a humanoid wolf man type. But they have the head of the American Werewolf in London type of werewolf. Where
very dog-like, very strong. Although they have a longer, thinner jaw, which almost makes them hyena-ish.
Boots! What's going on,
Boots!
man? Welcome. Yeah. Yeah, they look like better versions of the werewolves in Werewolves, actually.
That's, again, this is what werewolves should have been, and probably was trying to be now that I think about it.
Yeah.
And that's probably why I hated it so much, because I'd already seen that movie and it was done better.
Much better movie.
The don't let them in the house zombie survival done with werewolves. I've seen it, and I've seen it much better.
Yeah. Now that you think about it, now that you mention it, it is how much Werewolves was just biting off of that. Yeah, army guys versus werewolves thing.
Right.
God, that movie was disappointing with your fucking gorilla alligator wolves.
Yeah, like I said, they took these and then added crocodile DNA or some shit. Yeah, this is like you talked about right here, the opening when they're just kind of hanging out. This could have been a lot shorter.
Yeah.
A lot shorter.
I do like it pays off the joke about the football game at the end. When you see the headlines, at the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's England 5, Germany 1.
They did just say that the couple was murdered and that people around there saying that it was done by an escaped lunatic, which is
American Werewolf
in London. Which I think they pay homage to that. one other time, but I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, there was something in. I can't remember what it was, but like there was something in this that was a clear shout out.
Yeah,
to like another movie or something.
But like not in a rip off kind of way, like in an homage, like hey, we like what you did.
Yeah. Like it was a character name or something that was like clearly from something else.
Oh, Wells. His name is Harry G. Wells. H.G. Wells.
Yeah. It wasn't that though.
Oh, okay.
The basic concept made zero sense. That is also true.
Well, yeah, like I said,
super wolves.
Why?
Because it was a super moon, of course.
And all they had to do was stay inside. Just go inside.
Or you know what? Why don't we all go outside? This way, we're all werewolves, and like
nobody wants to eat each other.
Yeah.
Weird fucking might happen. I don't know what a hybrid baby that's conceived during the full moon is going to come out as.
Would it be a were-human, where like it's only human like one day, like 1 or 2 nights a month?
So there's a book by Terry Pratchett called Reaper Man, and in it, there's all the clocks with people's time of death and everything, and the Grim Reaper gets his own one day.
Yeah,
because he's just not scary enough anymore. So he decides to just quit. So nobody's dying anymore. So anyway, that's just the premise of the story. In it, there's a werewolf woman, and there is a person who is a hybrid humanized wolf man.
Yeah,
who turns into a human on the full moon, or something like that. So yeah, he becomes a wolf man on the full moon, but he's a dog the rest of the time. That's what it is.
Okay, all right.
He's a dog that turns into a wolf man. She's a pure person that turns into a wolf man. So the rest of the month, she's just his pet dog.
Yeah.
But then on the full moon, they fuck. Well, they're in love or whatever, but the implication.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Which you made me think of it because we're talking about what would the hybrid baby be born as?
The hybrid baby would grow up to be J.D. Vance.
That's not unrealistic. Oh, God. Talk about the need for abortion.
Fucking Christ. Everything's fine. Yeah.
So back to this. Again, this is the part of this is the 15 minutes they should have cut, is all the dialogue with the soldiers. We get it. We love it. Soldiers, but we just want to see them shoot at werewolves and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
You know what we could have done with this time instead? Maybe they don't find that lady right away. Maybe they have to spend a night out in the woods alone like they do, and maybe they have to go Predator style building traps.
Oh, God. That would be awesome.
Then the very end of the whole plot with the woman would be much shorter, because they'd get to the cabin during the day and they'd try and do all that stuff during the day, but then that night, they wouldn't have been able to do it, and she'd do the same speech like, oh, I thought you could get me out of this, but I guess not.
Shit, I would like to see that movie.
So yeah, you sacrifice some of the character build-up here that we don't technically need, and then half the time that they're in the cabin for that.
Yeah.
Werewolf traps.
Yeah. Werewolf Home Alone.
Yeah.
Valuable addition to third mic. He does have a third mic when he is here.
Yeah, I just don't have it on, usually.
Let's see. We kind of touched on this. I really like the look of the wolves in this.
Absolutely.
For like a low budget movie, like they made the most of with what they had. Like,
yeah, they specifically wanted to do practical effects in animatronics because this is, again, circa The Matrix.
Yeah,
and they were like, CGI is just, we don't trust it, we don't love it, it's not ever going to be as good as the real thing.
True.
So we're going to spend a bunch of our budget on real effects, which is basically where we are with AI right now.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, we're like, now we have people begging for like human-made fucking CGI effects.
Because it just won't be as good as a human-made thing.
Yeah.
I could do it, but it'll never have the creativity of the human, which is
it is weird.
The CGI to practical effects argument.
Yeah. We never really we do kind of towards the end get like shots of the wolves full on. They do save it for the end.
Yeah.
But again,
you see them in full standing and stuff.
Yeah, they have to like kind of hide the seams, because it's a low budget movie,
right?
Yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Like, I'm disappointed I haven't watched it before yesterday. This would be like the perfect, like, because there was a while when like I really only tried to watch like horror movies and stuff in like spooky season, like from September to October.
Oh, you're
like,
really doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
Because you can't watch enough in that month.
Yeah.
You know?
But it would be like every like Friday or Saturday night, it would just be like, I have nothing to do. I'm just going to watch like fucking whatever horror movies I want. Fucking,
Yeah.
You know. And like this would have been perfect for that time. Like late night, like feel like a werewolf movie. Boom. I've never seen this before.
Yeah. If you're not into werewolves and you saw this, you'd probably be a little bit into werewolves.
Yes. The Werewolf by Night special on Disney Plus is fucking awesome.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a show. That's fucking phenomenal.
I really want them to do more with that because it was so good.
Why doesn't he get a standout movie, you know? I'd watch it.
Apparently, that is. I saw a thing like within the past couple of days that's going to be like one of the things they're focusing on the next like Marvel phase is like the spookier stuff. It's going to be like
nice.
Yeah, like Werewolf by Night and Man Thing and stuff like that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So who's the toughest soldier in all of the movie?
The dude who was wrestling his guts away from the dog at one point. Yeah.
Okay, I see why you picked that, but I picked Spoon, who fist fights an 8-foot-tall werewolf, and when he finally just stabs it to death, another one comes in and grabs him by the throat, and his only response is, "I hope I give you the shits," and then he spits in its mouth. That is a man's man.
Yeah, that's a death scene right there.
Yeah.
Or the other guy too. You're right behind me, aren't you?
Oh yeah, then he tries to fight. He tries to fight. He turns
Let's
around.
have it. Yeah.
Doesn't last long, but you know.
But I respect the game.
I don't want to jump ahead to trivia, but I know it's trivia about that scene too.
Oh, all right.
But the wolf vision wasn't really super necessary.
Yeah, that is kind of like a Sam Raimi like shout out.
Actually, they mentioned that again in the trivia that they even referenced the Evil Dead in this somewhere.
Maybe that's what it was that like I picked up on.
Yeah, and so then some of the things they did were inspired by that. So maybe that's exactly what they were going for with the wolf vision, is the demon thing.
Yeah.
Because it does not move naturally like a person or wolf would.
Yeah, no. All right, I think we can throw some ratings on this. We've been talking almost a half an hour.
Oh shit! All right.
I'll take us out here. For never having seen this, like I really enjoyed the hell out of this movie.
Yeah.
Core concept: Night of the Living Dead with werewolves. Like, that's perfect. That's what I want. I'm gonna give this an 8. Like, it really delivers. Like, it for a low budget movie that doesn't have like, I'm assuming much. They didn't have much to work with in like the effects department. What they had, they did everything they could with it because it looks amazing. So yeah, definite thumbs up. I highly recommend it.
TJ also gave it an 8. I'm gonna surprise you. I actually think it's more like a 9.
All right, I can totally respect,
because I have complaints, but there's no movie I don't have complaints about. That can't be why you don't give it a 10. Really, it's just the unnecessary things that drags for me.
Yeah,
I'm losing
that definitely like
the moment.
That's where I'm like knocking some points off. Like it does tend to drag like a little bit here in the beginning, and then like a little bit after they get to the cabin. Like you can definitely chop some stuff out. This
whole day of travel is exactly what I was talking about.
Yeah.
This is where the traps and stuff. That's why it's not a 10. Look, wow, this little gully here was made for a fucking log trap to swing down and hit somebody that has to walk.
Yeah,
down.
like some rocks to fall down. Like, yeah. War of the Gargantuas, no complaints. All right. I love War of the Gargantuas. Nick doesn't.
Yeah. I think that's why it's recommended so frequently, even though you've already done it. But yeah, so I'd go with 9.
No, I can totally respect that.
IMDb has it as a 6.8, which I think is
criminally low.
Yeah.
Oh, we can finally rate this now. We do a half?
No, so just go with 8.
Yeah. No, fuck it. We'll give it a 9.
Just to counterbalance the 6.8.
Yeah, because it deserves better, damn it.
God damn it, yeah. Like, that's heavily weighted out probably by 1-star reviews that are stupid that we're going to go over later.
Yeah.
Like,
snobs and shit.
We were looking at them, and we had to stop because I was getting so fucking angry Like, the things they were nitpicking. This movie wasn't going for an Oscar, so shut the fuck up.
Yeah, not every movie like has to be cinema. Not everybody like. Not every meal is like gourmet cuisine. Sometimes you just want fucking boxed macaroni and cheese,
and that's okay.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to some trivia. We're gonna, I was gonna say double team this, but this sounds weird.
We're just gonna do it together.
Yeah, we're just gonna have Nick's camera. We're like,
Not to bother you with trivia.
That's just the first sound. Who just said what? Oh my god. But conceptually, this movie's set in World War II Germany.
oh my god.
Where it's like the same. It's British soldiers trapped behind enemy lines.
Yeah.
Against Nazi werewolves.
Yeah, in the middle of like the forest somewhere in Germany, like Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah,
That
I would watch the fuck out of that.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah, that might be number 2 if that existed.
Yeah.
Unlike the movie that's about Polish soldiers escaping German werewolves.
Project Werewolf, whatever it was.
the fuck it was called. Which is just, I didn't realize that that's what they called the Nazis who refused to surrender.
Yeah.
So, because I don't know history, you fucking tricked me.
Tricked me into watching a
fucking history-based movie, It was so good, it's just that I was mad that it wasn't what I wanted. Anyway.
Let's pull up some trivia.
T-Rivia.
All right. Nope, those are the reviews. Did I close the fucking...
No, there it is.
I just put it in the wrong place. That's, not the first time I've heard that. Let's see.
There's the one about the dancers, because he wanted the elegant movements.
Yes. Set was designed to force them to have to bend upon entering, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like I said, they look like they're 7-8 feet tall, which is incredible to do with live actors, stilts and stuff.
This was good. In the scene where Wells asks Cooper to knock him out, Kevin McKidd throws a stage punch the first time, but misjudges the distance of the second and catches Sean Pertwee on the nose. Pertwee didn't feel the punch, however, as he was really drunk for that scene.
Further down, you're going to find out why he was drunk.
Oh, really?
Yep. He said to the director, do you want me to just get drunk for this scene? And the director said, yeah, fuck. Or he said, do you want me to have a few drinks for this scene? And the director said, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. And he doesn't know how much a few drinks is, but he said, that's the best drunk acting I've ever seen in my life. So.
It is a good scene. It's like, hit me!
Sean Pertwee. Which you'll see right there. Some of the corpses hanging in the basement are actually from Event Horizon, which is another movie that Sean Pertwee was in. He was the one of the soldiers on the rescue squad.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
All right. Very little CGI was used. That's why the thing you said, they didn't, thought, CGI was being overused, which, preach, brother.
And it's gotten better, but doesn't make it okay.
Oh, Simon Pegg was offered a role in the film, but turned it down.
Glad it didn't happen, though.
Yeah,
Number
Shaun of
one,
the Dead.
it got a Shaun of the Dead. Number two, that would have taken it in a different direction.
Yeah.
Then it would have been more comedy, horror, black comedy. I don't know if I would have loved it.
And Shaun of the Dead is a 10 in my book.
Yeah,
so,
no, I get that, but I'm saying, I don't know if this would have done that. It's a serious script,
After the film's release, it was for a long period of time the most watched movie by British forces out in Afghanistan and Iraq.
I mean, they would have had a limited, selection of movies.
Yeah.
They wanted this one, which is about a group of soldiers surviving.
Shooting at werewolves.
Shooting at werewolves. I don't have a problem with that. That makes sense to me. That's logical.
All right, read The Wolf's Hour, Allied werewolf soldier behind enemy lines.
Yes, I have read The Wolf's Hour.
Oh, and a hydrate.
Ooh. I have read The Wolf's Hour. It is a fucking phenomenal book.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll have to remember that. I
Very early on, the werewolves in that are more dog-like. More wolf-like.
Yeah.
They have canine sex in wolf form very early in the book.
All right. That's got to be one of the things on your database. Is there wolf sex in the movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's on there.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I'm late to the game. Sorry.
Is there wolf sex? Yes. I'm not telling you whether that makes it higher or lower rated. Is it tasteful?
Tasteful
Is
werewolf
it
sex?
anatomically accurate? Like, does he have
That's
rough?
a fucking album name right there. Tasteful werewolf sex. Like, if I need to become a musician just so I can have an album.
The number of band and album names I've come up with just sitting around saying dumb shit.
Tasteful werewolf sex.
Yeah.
I can get Tom to name his next album. Remember that.
That's going to be awesome. Oh, I want a writing credit. There you go.
Oh, here it is, yeah.
He asked if he could have a few drinks. I don't know how many a few was. God.
That's amazing. Oh, he's pulling the bandages, not the guts. Okay.
Yeah, but it's still so gross to watch. It doesn't matter.
That's what I thought it was.
And actually, I'm okay with that, because, like, why go for the super gross thing? You know? You
Yeah.
can still get there.
The script originally called for the dog to pull at the wounded soldier's exposed intestines, but Neil Marshall changed it to pulling the bandage instead. People think it's intestines anyway.
Yeah, not much you can do about that.
Yeah, and the bandage is bad enough. Okay, yeah. Again, that's exactly what I fell for.
Yeah.
Sean Pertwee, H.G. Wells, we mentioned that. Sadly, never produced sequel. About Cooper being locked up in a mental institution.
What? The werewolf was already inside the asylum?
Oh, the dude camper from the beginning.
Okay, and had been turned into a werewolf, turning numerous inmates, doctors, and nurses into werewolves, forcing Cooper and the surviving inmates... Oh my god, it's Alien 3!
Oh my god!
It's Alien 3 with werewolves!
Yeah, kind of. There's only one, like, werewolf. One alien
In Alien 3.
Yeah.
I get that, but same concept.
God damn. Oh, I need to see that movie.
I would actually have liked it better if it was just the one werewolf and it was literally Alien 3. But
Yeah.
Insane Asylum and werewolf.
Kevin McKidd cracked a rib in the first few days of shooting and hid it from the director.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Did you see who they wanted to replace him?
Jason Statham.
Who turned it down for what movie?
Ghosts of Mars.
Oh,
Honestly,
good fucking choice, buddy. Good
Yeah.
fucking choice.
This would have been the better choice.
Yeah.
We did Ghosts of Mars way the fuck back on this show.
Bad movie.
Yeah, no, that was not good. There's never going to be a sequel. Damn it.
Although I still think there's a spiritual sequel to this because I distinctly remember British werewolf soldiers in a movie.
Oh, all right.
I remember like a secret facility where they keep them and everything. That is so clearly ketchup on condoms.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
intestines are
it's-
not great. They put the effects on the werewolves.
The werewolves, yeah. Those
And
are like
I'm okay with that.
like colored water balloons, basically, with ketchup, yeah. Movie takes place on the 1st or 2nd of September 2001. Well,
Yeah.
if you thought that was a bad day, boys.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 9 or 10 days later. At least they didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm just looking forward to a few weeks of R&R with nothing bad happening.
Where are you going? I'm touring New York City. So there's the thing I was saying about that one scene. The dude who plays the soldier who drives the Land Rover doesn't know how to drive. But he waited until that point to tell the director
Yeah.
when they got to filming that scene. And so as a punishment, he had him do it anyway.
and he ran off the road.
road.
That's great.
So then it was done probably by a stunt driver. Ketchup on condoms is also called the Alabama Cookout.
Apparently there's a reference to Eddie Oswald in every one of Neil Marshall's movies, but he's never actually had the character. He's only mentioned.
Oh. Huh. I'll have to go back and check that out.
Yeah.
Like, what do we know about him? Build a character out of that, you know?
There is no spoon is a nod to the Matrix.
Yep. Which I fucking love, the commitment.
One of the soldiers is called Bruce Campbell. That's what it was. I'm like, that's got to be a shadow.
Yes. Heavily partially inspired the plot.
Yeah. Other films. Yeah, I think I got
I never
carried
noticed.
away with the references.
Their unit badge is a wolf's head with a spear through it.
Oh, all right.
So, like, it's a reference right from the get-go. They're
Yeah.
wolf killers, you know?
Yeah, because the Liam Cunningham wolf gets stabbed with the sword.
Oh, he does that multiple times. Yeah. Oh my god, that's Liam Cunningham.
Yeah. Well, we were going to get to that in the Better Known As, but yeah.
I just realized that's who that is because you said it.
Yeah.
Huh. That's why the voice sounded familiar.
Let's see. Neil Marshall aimed for authenticity with his squatties, in part because his father and grandfather were both in the military.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. It said earlier on that a lot of the crew were ex-military as well. So when they were doing the helicopter jumping scene, the crew just did it in costume for them.
No shit.
Yeah. Because they didn't have the insurance.
Right here, yeah.
before.
The insurance did not cover the actors jumping into the helicopter.
So the crew did it because they happen to be ex-military. But they probably helped them saying with the making them more authentic.
Yeah. It did premiere on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh. Huh.
It did get a one week run at the Egyptian Theater in LA.
Well, that's better than nothing, but not what it deserved. Oh. Ketchup on Condoms would also be a good album name, by the way.
Yeah, Tasteful Werewolf Sex, the follow-up to Ketchup on Condoms.
Oh, yeah. So transformation. This fact is about transformations, and I gotta say, they did very little visuals with the transformation. That's fine.
Yeah.
Don't do it if you're not confident.
Yeah, exactly. If you can't pull it off, it's perfectly fine to do what they did.
Yeah, do like cutaways. You know?
Yeah, you see him like the one scene like he sprouts the nails, he's got the teeth, and he falls down, comes up, he's a werewolf. Totally fine. That is way better than having a shitty looking transformation. Like that'll get some points knocked off the movie.
Yeah, so he did old school techniques such as like with Liam Cunningham, where he just falls down behind the table.
Yeah,
and then when he stands up, he's the wolf. Fine,
it works.
Cheesy, Scooby-Doo-ish, but it saved a lot of money and time.
The song she plays is Claire de Lune, which is
Moonbeam.
Yeah.
And they somehow connect that to American Werewolf in London just because the songs all have moon in the title.
Yeah.
This is The Wall is Blue. I don't know if you know like the literary thing. What is the author saying? Sometimes they're saying the wall is blue.
Sometimes it's just a fucking blue wall.
Yeah.
Took 6 years to refine the script. All right. And acquire financing. Okay, that
was probably 5.5 years.
Yeah.
Not to be an ass, but yeah, like 6 months for the script of this seems not too bad.
Marshall wanted to avoid cliches about werewolf curses or how awful it is to be a werewolf. Exactly. Just give me a fucking down and dirty, like
I don't
bloody werewolf movie. Yeah.
Yeah, especially with werewolves. I don't need a sympathetic villain either. You know?
Yeah.
I don't even like the girl. Like her whole thing.
Yeah, no, her like tricking them. Yeah, and her the reveal that she's a werewolf.
Yeah, it was kind of empty. You know,
yeah, it was like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, like just fucking. I just want a movie where werewolves like are just vicious animals that have to be put down. Like, yeah.
There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. In fact, it's implied that the werewolves in this are cannibals even when they're in human form.
Oh no shit! All right,
think about it. Their cellar is filled with bodies that are being butchered.
Yes.
They are still eating that meat. What do you think the stew is made of that they ate earlier?
No shit. I didn't even put that together.
He even says that it tastes like pork.
Yeah.
And a lot of cannibals report that
human meat tastes like pork.
Yeah.
Huh. I did not put that together.
I think it's in the... I don't know. It might be... some of that might be.
The most unbelievable thing in this movie... Wait, it said this was set in Scotland. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
The most unbelievable thing in this movie is that there would be any place in Scotland that is 4 hours away from any other human being.
There's a fact about that.
Yeah.
The dude that plays Cooper happens to be Scottish. And he, from day one, was so itchy about the fact... that's not possible. There's nothing 4 hours away in Scotland.
Even like when I thought it was just set in like England, I'm like, that's not possible in England. Like it fucking
no, you'd have to go from like very southern tip all the way up into Scotland to do that. I even want to say that they chalked it up to her being an unreliable narrator, or like people in tense situations being unreliable narrators.
Yeah. Neil Marshall says the werewolves merely feel compelled to change on the night of the full moon and can hold it back if they wish. That retroactively makes the family even more evil since they apparently change willingly.
I think I do think that's, again, I think they're cannibals when they're human form too. So I think that's probably true.
Yeah.
It does also explain why the girl didn't turn when the other wolves did. Whose name I can't remember. British lady whose teeth barely got worse when she transformed.
Nothing like too interesting so far. Well, we're getting down in there now.
Yeah.
East of Bodmin Moor. It's apparently British folklore. They mentioned that at one point.
Yeah, that's right after that, as they mentioned an escaped lunatic did
it. Neil Marshall claims he wrote this film as a knee-jerk reaction to American Werewolf in Paris, which he thought was terrible.
Wait, so that did one good thing.
Yeah.
That movie did one good thing.
It gave us this movie, which is on the opposite spectrum of fucking American
Absolutely.
Werewolf. That movie was so fucking bad. Like,
there was nothing really redeemable about that movie.
No, how fucking dare you?
Yeah, like building that franchise that poorly. Which, it's not even a franchise because of you.
It was like
it's a standalone film with nothing else.
It was a 2-hour Mountain Dew commercial with werewolves, basically. Like,
oh my god.
Yeah.
Fuck American Werewolf in Paris.
Scene of Sergeant Wells being found with his intestines spilled out was especially unpleasant for Sean Pertwee. Like, is that's ever going to be pleasant? They used raw sausages, which quickly went off and stank.
Oh my god, rotten raw sausages. I think he'd rather have the ketchup and condoms.
The fake blood would freeze in the cold weather.
Wolf snatches shines are shooting back. Just for one scene, they know how to use guns.
Oh,
and after that, it's just kind of lost. Oh, man.
Alright, I think we can... No, we talked about Statham.
Yeah, some of them are incestuous, the facts. Spoon is... Oh, go ahead.
Neil Marshall was in the 17th or 18th draft of the script when it finally came time to shoot.
See, I love this movie, but I feel embarrassed for you that's your 18th. That's your 18th try?
Yeah.
The guy that plays Spoon is an actual boxer.
All right.
So they had him use that, which, it does look good, so I buy it.
Yeah, they paid off at the end. Like, the silver knife at the beginning. I thought that was going to be way more like...
Yeah.
He stabs him with it at the end. That was it.
That's an actual Chekhov's gun that fires.
Yeah.
Which is great.
All right, I think we're going to move on from here.
Yeah,
not that we have much in the department of fucking... Oh, we have 1-star reviews, too.
That's what I was going to say. That's next, right?
Yeah.
Let's look at that bullshit.
This fucking... There we go.
Like, any 10, obviously, I also disagree with, but not as aggressively as I am for these.
Yeah. Dog of a movie. This looked bad from the start, but I gave it an hour to show some indication that it might become interesting, scary, intelligent, or humorous. No, it's not any of those. It's interesting. I like watching it.
But it's a little bit humorous at times.
Yeah. But like
it's an action suspense werewolf movie.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it horror. It just has werewolves. It's a suspense.
The one good thing, I could watch it to the end or go to the kitchen and wash the dishes. Thus, one good thing came out of the movie. I have a sparkling clean set of dishes. Fuck you.
Dumbass. But look, 13 people thought that was helpful. 25 people were like, I'm pretty sure you didn't even watch this movie.
Yeah, you're just performing right now.
What a complete waste of time. I watched it because of some of the raving reviews here. I wish I could erase them to spare others of wasting their time. Oh my god.
It's not realistic. Again,
not realistic. The werewolf versus soldiers movie was not realistic for you?
Yeah.
The only good thing about it is that it ends. Fuck you.
Truly dreadful. This is the one that broke us, I think.
Yeah, we had to stop at this one.
Yeah.
Truly dreadful movie concerning group of soldiers pitting their wits against werewolves. Okay, I don't know how you could start with truly dreadful movie and end with soldiers pitting their wits against werewolves and think that sentence could possibly exist. Anyway, what makes it awful is the terrible, terrible gung-ho do-it soldier style dialogue. Yeah, again, the dialogue's not fucking good. They're not going for Oscars. Also, that's why the soldiers, like, they have to build them up as these gung-ho soldiers, or else why would they stand and fight instead of just leaving?
Yeah. Just getting the fuck out. Rubbish acting. What? The fact that we as a nation can appreciate a movie like this above the whole... Oh, there's more. I don't get that.
That's so weird.
I've seen cartoons scarier than this.
Again, it's an action, suspense.
Yeah. Intense horror drama.
I don't think it was billed as that. I truly don't think it was billed as that.
Yeah. Riddled with ridiculous swearing for no reason.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You're watching soldiers versus werewolf movie, and you're worried about the language.
Language, people.
How can my children watch this?
Oh, somebody think of the children
that are watching Song Soldiers.
Don't believe the hype. Worst movie ever. Again, no, it's not. Watch fucking Deathbed.
Oh my god. Firstly, it mimics Predator, Evil Dead, Jaws. I can't continue to drown myself. Why does that make you mad?
Yeah.
That's good. It's mimicking the best action horror films it can get its hands on.
It didn't even have me laughing at its untalented story and style. Even Troll 2 did that. But yeah, Troll 2 is more of an ironic, isn't this so bad it's good?
Yeah.
Where you're no, this is just a fucking, like I said, down and dirty, just fucking werewolves fighting soldiers. That
they didn't do anything fancy, and I'm happy for it.
Yeah. Worst movie I've ever seen. Nope, you're just being fucking just dramatic.
Corny with seriously bad acting. I mean, it's a movie. I cannot stress this enough about werewolves against soldiers.
Yeah. Army pants.
What?
This is a good example of why a lot of British films are not taken seriously outside of the UK.
What we have here is a mishmash of American Werewolf in London, Predator, Alien, Blair Witch, and Way Out West, and it just doesn't work.
How the fuck is Blair Witch in here?
But also, well, I guess possibly just the running through the woods stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm just saying, again, another sentence where how can you say that doesn't work? If you described a movie to me as American Werewolf in London, Predator, Alien, Blair Witch, and Way Out West, I'd say, yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. If your review gets to more than 4 paragraphs, you're just doing shtick.
Earlier it said, then we come back from the aerial view. So he's clearly talking about the cinematography and filmography in here.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. It's a movie about soldiers versus werewolves.
One of the worst films I've ever watched. Again, can I introduce you to Morbius, my friend?
I didn't hate it. I would never watch it again,
yeah.
But I didn't hate it.
My deepest sympathy to werewolves.
Deeply flawed exercise. John Carpenter film. Carpenter decided to make a modern-day equivalent to that Western and came up with a genuinely thrilling assault on Precinct 13. Blah, blah, blah.
Something wrong with copying an idea as long as you put your... I'm pretty sure he put his own stamp on it.
What with the the soldiers and what is it that they're fighting again? Feels different.
Werewolves. Nothing remotely original, but yeah, again,
they weren't trying to be. And these people, if you call it the worst ever, I don't take you seriously. Just like when someone says it's the best ever.
Yeah.
You know?
You're not a serious reviewer.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on because this is just fucking upsetting. All right.
And then that's why it's a 6.8 instead of I would have guessed like a 7.5 on average.
Yeah.
I get people maybe rating it around 6.
Oh shit. Yeah, we'll do it with the theme music. Why the fuck
I know you. I know you. I knew you. I knew you. But you ain't you.
All right. We will do the better known as segment, and we will start off as we always do with the director Neil Marshall, who has directed some pretty well-known movies. We've actually talked about him before on this show. The movie he did, well, we'll get to that. It's probably his most well-known movies, the movie he did right after this. It was, I might as well just fucking say it now, it was The Descent. We did that a while back. Nick and I talked about that one. That one was, I remember like watching it when it first came out and like hating it. And then when we rewatched it for the show, I actually really liked it. I so much so that I watched the sequel, which was not good. But aside from that, he directed the unfortunate 2019 version of Hellboy.
Still haven't seen it.
It's not good. Like, it keeps, like, you keep getting to the point of, like, all right, I can get into this. And then, like, it just never, like, gets you there. Like, it's
all about edging.
Pretty much, yeah. You never blow a load.
It's comic book edging.
Yeah. It just never gets good.
That's not for me.
Yeah. He directed a couple of episodes of the Netflix Lost in Space, which I remember, like, I watched the first season and really liked it, and then when the second season came out, didn't give a shit.
I think I watched like 3 episodes of it.
It was pretty
it
good.
Was fine.
I remember, yeah.
It was fine.
Directed an episode of Westworld, which I did not like that show. That was like, people were so high on that show. It was just garbage.
It's time filler.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give it the 8.4 that they're giving it, for sure.
Pretentious bullshit, yeah.
Yeah.
He directed a segment in Tales of Halloween, which was a really, really good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I interviewed 2 of the directors from one of the segments of that, my old podcast. That was a fun chat. He directed an episode of Hannibal, which is a really good series on NBC. 2 episodes of the Constantine series on the CW. 2 episodes of Game of Thrones. How the fuck does Game of Thrones have a 9.2 rating? Did anybody not see the last season?
I mean, there were seasons before that would have gotten lower than 9.2 for me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, after last season, that's at least a 2-star drop from whatever you thought.
Yeah.
You know, you wanted to give it a 10, then you see the last 3 episodes, so you give it an 8.
All right, we're down to an 8. Yeah. Whoa.
Fuck you, bride.
This show always looked kind of cool, and I just never bothered to watch it. Black Sails. It was like a pirate show on Starz.
Yeah, it's a Schrodinger show for me. It will always be the best and worst possible pirate show that ever existed.
As long as you never watch it.
As long as I never watch it.
That's a
I
good
can
point.
Fantasize about it and how wonderful it was.
Yeah. I could live the rest of my life secure in the knowledge that was a great show about pirates.
Yeah.
As long as I never actually watch it.
Exactly.
Head
in the sand, man. Head in the sand.
Yeah.
It's safer this way.
He directed that movie Doomsday in 2008, which only has a 5.9 rating on here, but I keep hearing people say it's actually like way better.
Didn't check that out.
Yeah, than you would think. It's basically like Mad Max in Scotland, which
I'm sold.
Yeah. We mentioned he directed The Descent. That was 2005. That was right after he directed Dog Soldiers, which was 2002. That was his first full-length movie. He's writing a couple of things. Nothing really ringing a bell. So we're going to move on. Up next, we have Sean Pertwee, who was Wells in this. He is the son of actor John Pertwee, who was the third Doctor on Doctor Who.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He's
royalty.
Sci-fi nerd royalty, yeah.
Oh my god, he was in Equilibrium as well.
Yes, which is another fucking great
Sorry,
movie.
it's on there, and it just blew my mind, the known for section where
Yeah. That, like, again, in the vein of The Matrix, but I think a better movie than The Matrix.
Yep.
Yeah.
People just saw The Matrix first and then didn't like that.
Yeah. It was a couple of years, 3 years after, but, like, it's such a good movie. Christian Bale is in it. It's a little bit like Aldous Huxley sci-fi, mixed with The Matrix. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the instead of being dragged into being batteries for AI or whatever, they're drugged into compliance and being drones
Yeah.
for the government.
Let's see. Aside from that, he was on a couple of episodes of that show You on Netflix, which started out really good, and then like you probably should have ended after like the second season, maybe, or maybe the third at the latest. It just went on and on and on. It finally wrapped up this year. Didn't even bother to watch. I think my wife and I like just stopped halfway through like the previous season before this last one. Let's see. Aside from that, he is probably most well known for playing Alfred Pennyworth, Batman's butler on Gotham. 99 episodes of that show. I tried to watch that show, and
He was in Howl.
okay.
It's another werewolf movie.
Oh, okay.
But that people were saying the worst movie they ever saw.
Werewolves on a Train.
Yep. It's this same movie here, but they're surviving on a train instead of in a cabin.
All right. It does have a 5.5 rating.
Yep.
Whoops.
And I
did not mean to click. Where the... All right, we were right here. He was in 3 episodes of Elementary. He played Inspector Lestrade, apparently. Wasn't that like the police guy that helps out Sherlock Holmes?
I've seen
At least in the books.
0 episodes. Oh, yeah.
I've never seen the show, but yeah. He did some video game work. He did a couple of the Killzone games.
Oh.
Fable 3 he's a voice in.
Very cool.
Yeah, Killzone 1 and 2 I believe he's in. Fable 2 he's in also. Doomsday. Pretty much everybody who's in this movie is in this Doomsday movie.
Oh, well, that happens with directors. They call it people that like working with them and they like working with.
Yeah. Aside from that might be the big stuff. I don't really think he's in anything big aside from what we've mentioned.
Holy cow, though. He's doing like 5 movies a year? Or like 3 movies and some TV show stuff?
Well, they're all British movies. There's like 100 British actors maybe tops. Yeah, Lestrade is who Holmes is always one-upping. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That makes sense.
Let's see. He's in Equilibrium. We mentioned that. That was same year as this. Both 2002. And yeah, I believe we're
Just more British stuff.
Yeah. He played.
Oh well, Event Horizon, yeah.
Oh, Event Horizon. That was 97. God
Yep.
damn.
Fucking stellar movie, though.
Yeah, it was a good movie. All right, we're gonna move on because I think we've gotten through all. Yeah, we did. Up next, we have Kevin McKidd, who is the one dude who survives. I forget his name. Cooper.
Yeah.
He is probably
I mean, come on.
Yeah, I've never seen a single episode of the show, but he's on 367 episodes of Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah. I know him from Grey's Anatomy just from reels where people are just showing
I
clips of the
honestly
show.
didn't even realize that until I started doing the research. You might as well just ask me about.
He's Dr. McDreamy or whatever, I think.
Yeah, like I have as much knowledge as Grey's Anatomy as I do of like reading Ancient Sumerian.
You've never seen any reels that are like attacking Katherine Heigl because she's in
I
that.
know a lot of people don't like her. Yeah. I've heard she's
in
not
that,
fun to
so
work
they use
with.
that to make fun of her.
He was in that It Ends With Us movie with Blake Lively.
You mean those careers?
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
The people who were suing each other.
Yeah, to oblivion for nothing.
He was in an episode of the Mike Tyson Mysteries.
Oh my god, my dad loves that.
That's
He just
hilarious.
gets a high and watches that.
He was in 7 episodes. Did a voice of Star Wars Rebels, which is a really good
Fucking
Star
stellar
Wars
show again. Like,
Yeah.
what's his name? Shit. Freddie Prinze Jr.'s character.
Oh, Kanan Jarrus.
Yeah, Kanan's death
Yeah.
I see reels of that over with Like a Prayer, the choir version.
yeah.
And I'm like, ah, gotta stop with the onions.
That
Who's
show
getting
was
onions?
so good. Just that scene. I think it's the second season finale with Vader and Ahsoka fighting.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was amazing. Let's see. He was the voice of Batman in the Thomas Wayne version. Anyway, in the Flashpoint Paradox animated movie. He's Soap in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. He's in a couple of those games. He was Poseidon and Percy Jackson and the Olympians, the Lightning Thief. I was gonna say this is probably what he's most well known for. He was one of the main characters on Rome, which was a really, really good HBO show.
I never checked that out.
It's
Good?
really fucking good. Yeah, it's him and
right.
what is the guy's name? He played the Punisher. Is it Ray Stevenson? Ray Stevenson, yeah. He just died. He was on season 1 of Ahsoka. This dude. He was in the Thor movies.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey, he's that guy.
Yeah. What was his name? In Balin Skoll. That's what it was. They recast him for the second season.
Oh.
We were talking about Kevin McKidd. Yeah, he would Rome, which I highly recommend. It's got an 8.7 rating on here.
Yeah, those could be unreliable, but I'd still say it's got to be at least a...
Yeah, it was canceled after 2 seasons because it was too fucking expensive for HBO to make.
Oh, yeah, my Wheel of Time show just got canceled because it was too expensive, and they had to save money so they could keep making Rings of Power.
I like Rings of Power.
It's okay. I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But it really sucks that we have to get more Lord of the Rings, that we already have more stuff coming out constantly for.
Yeah.
And we don't get to continue.
This thing that we don't get much of is the one that, where we fucking... You can't take it from one of those, like, millions of, like, special agent shows that are on, like, Amazon
Jesus.
Prime, like, with Chris Pratt or the dude from The Office. Or,
Trick or Reacher.
Yeah. Hey,
Grabber.
leave Reacher alone. Leave Reacher alone.
I'm just saying, they're all the same shit.
We were here already. He was in Hannibal Rising, which was not good. 6.1
I haven't actually
rating.
seen it.
Yeah, it's like the like origin story of Hannibal Lecter.
Right.
It's not good.
I don't really need it. you
Yeah.
know?
He was a voice in fucking Vice City, 2002.
Oh, so old.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh God.
Someone had to buy that game for me.
I remember.
Good
Yeah.
guy?
Yeah, no, I at the time I was 23, but I was working at the movie theater. This is when they actually showed movies like past like 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And like I lived in a house like we rented like an entire house like both floors and with like 10 other people who worked at the theater. And we had all basically like inverted our days and nights where that like, if somebody like normally wakes up at like fucking, 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, we were waking up at like 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, but yeah, no, we would work, because again, this is when they, movies would start at like midnight, like,
Right.
12:30, work till like 1 or 2:30 in the morning. If you were fucking, ushering, you had to stay until the last movie got the fuck out. So you were there like 3 in the morning sometimes.
Jesus.
Yeah. And you just would fucking go home and just party and just play Vice City till the fucking sun came up.
Yeah, I was 16, so I probably would have had to have a parent buy that for me.
Yeah.
Because I bet it was restricted.
Anything else worth mentioning now?
No.
Oh, he's in Trainspotting.
Okay.
1996.
Yeah. I've only seen that once. I don't remember anything about it.
It's a good movie.
Oh. Beer!
Oh, hydrate. Don't mind if I do. Let's not move away from art watching Grey's Anatomy.
No. I don't watch Grey's Anatomy. I watch reels that are Grey's Anatomy.
So you're saying you like Grey's Anatomy so much that you watch additional Grey's Anatomy content?
Ooh.
Second
Boy,
screen content, I believe, is the
Medical
the
shows
execs
are not
call
my
it.
thing.
Yeah, like medical shows, like lawyer shows, except for Better Call Saul, because that wasn't really like a lawyer show.
Right.
I
I haven't checked it out yet.
That's if you liked Breaking Bad, like Better Call Saul is. Didn't like Breaking Bad?
Haven't seen it.
Oh, dude.
My wife loves that show.
Yeah.
And she owned it, and we never watched it on DVD. And now I could probably watch it on Prime or somewhere.
Yeah. No, I highly recommend both. Like, I like Better Call Saul better, I think. Just because I fucking love Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah,
I think he's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah. On to Liam Cunningham, who we have talked about before, so we don't have to spend much time talking about him. He was the shifty, like, special forces guy who ends up becoming a werewolf.
Ryan.
We'll get to that in the crapshoot. But this is also the second movie. I'll say it now. This is the second movie I've seen in the past several days where somebody gets a knife in the mouth.
Oh,
because we both saw that other movie. Yeah.
Yes, and that's exactly what I was thinking about. He's got the sword coming at him, and he's holding it with his teeth, and it's grinding.
Yeah,
and it's so itchy, and I was like, you know what? Thank you for that scene, even though it's disgusting, and the worst thing I've ever seen.
This just grossed me out like a day or two ago, and here I am again.
Yeah,
but we'll get to that when we get to the crapshoot.
Yeah,
because I would like to talk about that movie.
I've heard about that show, but I don't know anything about it.
I tried watching it, and I was like, this is not where I am right now.
Talk about three body
problem. Yeah.
I just haven't. I think we tried to watch the first episode.
Yeah, I barely got. I couldn't like pay attention to it.
Didn't go anywhere after that.
Yeah. So I tried. I don't know. He was a voice in the recent reboot of He-Man on Netflix, which I really loved. I thought it was really, really good.
Nice.
He was in The Last Voyage of the Demeter, which we talked about on this show when it came out. That was a fucking great movie.
Oh, yeah.
We mentioned He-Man. He's done a lot of voice work. Solar Opposites, Rick and Morty. He, of course, is probably most well known for being Davos Seaworth on Game of Thrones. 42 episodes of that. I think we're going to move on because, like I said, we've talked about him already. So we hit the highlights.
Several people have had the Musketeers show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a British TV show, and these are British actors, so that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, there's like 100 British actors, maybe like 200. We're on to Thomas Lockyer. Is there any reason I saved this guy?
Robin Hood TV show from 2008.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember, I think I tried to watch that. Like,
What was he?
Oh, he's in Highlander Endgame in 2000.
And the Raven TV series.
Yeah. Did I really think that was enough to save him?
Merlin.
Oh, he's in the Merlin miniseries on NBC.
2 episodes, but still.
Cutthroat Island. Again, that might be the finest pirate movie ever made.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh,
as long as I never watch it, yeah.
It can be everything I want it to be.
Exactly. I don't know why I fucking saved this dude, so we're going to move right on. Chris Robson is in this movie. He is...
He's the one that has to drive the car?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Is he the one that was worried about the scores, too? Or is Spoon the one that was worried about the scores in the game?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
He was also in that Doomsday movie. Again, everybody in this movie was in Doomsday. He's in Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. That was 2004. It wasn't bad. Nick really likes it. But it wasn't bad.
Seems like I'd like it, but I just never got around to it.
Yeah. And he was in right before this. He was in that Band of Brothers miniseries on HBO, which was really, really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it was. I read the book.
I love war movies and stuff too.
Yeah. Actually, I had a friend who just last week was in fucking D-Day. Where the fucking Normandy.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was posting pictures from it and shit. It's crazy. All right. Moving on. Craig Conway.
That is the Britishiest British name to ever British.
Craig Conway, yeah. He was in Doomsday. Like everybody in this movie. He was also like the lead like underground dweller in The Descent. Mole Man, I guess you would call them. Moleman. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. We're gonna move on. Last up, Ben Wright. I think he was one of the creatures.
Man, wrong.
Oh,
it's in a good movie though.
He was in the movie Your Highness in 2011.
That's right.
Yeah. He did a lot of stunt work in movies.
I saw the stunts for Skyfall.
Yeah, Deadpool.
Deadpool.
Wonder Woman 1984.
I didn't say those two.
I didn't know how Wonder Woman 1984 got a 5.4 rating because that movie was garbage.
Haven't seen it, but I do know that she rapes a dude
Yeah.
repeatedly.
Yeah. Didn't we? I think we watched it one night during the pandemic.
Oh, maybe we did.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure because it was like premiering, and we all weren't going anywhere. So yeah,
That's when we used to do D&D more reliably.
or at all.
I have several campaigns. If I have to DM, I guess I'm gonna DM. But
No, I did mention that thing I wanted to talk to that other person about. I do want to do that.
I know, but
We need to play something. God damn it!
you know, yeah. I've got several ideas.
All right, we'll move on to the crapshoot. Yeah, so the other movie with the knife in the mouth was Bring Her Back.
Woo, boy! All right.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: it's got
Spoilers. Like,
Yeah,
I'm trying not to spoil everything.
We'll do like a little bit light on
Yeah.
I guess, but like plot holes that you could drive a fucking school bus through.
Oh, really? I didn't even. I've liked it. So
It's a visually stunning movie
yeah.
that is tense and uncomfortable. I wouldn't call it a horror.
Yeah, it's more
Again,
like a
it's
psychological
thriller, psychological
suspense.
thing.
Yeah.
You know, the plot holes start right after it starts rolling. I mean, I don't know how much we want to get into it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
like
We won't
the
spoil
entire
it.
premise is blown apart every time they open their mouths to talk about why this is happening.
Yeah.
It makes it just less and less likely that any of that makes sense.
Fuck, god damn it. I walked out of there. I'm like, I really like this movie.
I didn't say I didn't like it.
Now you're giving me things to think about, though. Valid points to talk
Yeah.
about. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
fuck.
Oh no, you might have to drop a point or two on your scale.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
okay, you know. But also, just like with this movie, I didn't go into it, expecting a perfect plot with, well thought out consequences and arcs.
I knew it was going to be, like, super creepy and, like, a little intense. And I tried
That's what I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. I tried to be, like, as spoiler-free as I just didn't read anything about it. I just
Nothing.
knew.
Other
Yeah.
than the one trailer I'd seen, and I was like, that seems creepy as fuck.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see that.
Yeah. And it delivered on that, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been. I don't know. I liked it.
It made me uncomfortable.
Yeah, if I had to throw a rating, I'd say like a 7. I'd give it.
Yeah, okay. That's not even bad if once you think about the plot holes. At worst, to go down to 6.5.
Yeah.
I probably would be close to a 6.5 right now, but I also know the plot holes I have in mind.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it definitely. There were scenes that made me uncomfortable and feel weird, and that's what you want in this kind of movie. She's peeing.
Oh, yeah.
That whole thing, that whole plot line, so fucking weird. But again, I have an idea of why that happened. It's just bad writing. What else you got going on? See any other movies?
I did. I was a movie seeing fool this week. I watched one that was okay. It was on Hulu. Like, I saw a preview for it a couple months back. I'm like, all right, this looks kind of cool. It's called The Damned. And it takes place like in this like fishing village, I think in like northern Canada, maybe somewhere. And like it's the dead of fucking winter. And the setup is like the woman who owns it's not where they stay, but it's like the company, the fishing company, basically.
Oh, okay.
Like all the people work at and fish at. Her husband was like the lead fisher, like for the village, and like he ended up dying the year before, and like they all thought she was going to sell the place, and she ends up keeping it. So now like she's running the whole show, and they've got like no money. They're basically going to fucking starve. Like they just have nothing. So they're out getting ready to go fish one day, and like they see a fucking shipwreck. Like offshore, like the boat is in progress, like sinking. Like, yeah. So, like, again, it's the dead of winter, and they're like, well, what are we going to do? Like, we can help them, but, like, anybody who's in the water, like, by the time we bring them back to shore, they're going to die from freezing.
Right.
And plus, like, do we really want to risk sending a boat out there where they, like, crashed? This is, like, the same place where her husband died.
Mm-hmm.
It's like like a notorious, like, point where ships crash. And they're like, well, we don't want to risk like losing people. Like, we have barely anything as it is. If we lose a boat, if we we can't do it.
Right.
So they're just like, all right, well, get the fuck out of here then. Like, let's go back inside.
Sorry.
Yeah. So like they just don't help. And then like later on at night, they figure everybody's dead. Like anybody who's out there would be dead already. So they go back out. They finally go out. And there's a really cool, like, creepy scene where there's like a bunch of people in the fucking water still, and like they try to like swarm the boat.
Oh,
yeah. And they're like fucking fighting people off with oars. I don't know. It had a really creepy setup and like a really creepy vibe. Like it kind of paid off, but it also kind of dragged a little bit. Like I could have used a little bit more. So I don't know. I'd give it like a straight 5. Like, be your own judge. Like I really dug. It felt like a Hammer movie, and like that like small like story. This like secluded village in the middle of nowhere, and there's this creepy shit happening. Because they ignored these people like dying.
Like cursed or damned even.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. It was enjoyable, but I don't think I'd go back for it.
Fair enough. God, the only thing I've been doing lately is watching. I'm almost done. I've got to be close to current on Ancient Aliens.
Oh, really?
I'm on season 13. They're literally referencing things from 2017 through 2020.
Like
so
things that just
gotta
happened
be current. Yeah.
That are being built by aliens?
Well, they're just referencing
Oh.
how did COVID-19 get created? Aliens. Maybe it was aliens, So the show is always off the rails, obviously. And no, TJ, I only watch Gilmore Girls Gone Wild. I'm sure that exists. There's no way that doesn't exist.
That's got to be a parody somewhere, like on Mad TV. I don't think SNL, maybe, but somebody has. Yeah. I've been just doing my usual shit, reading comics. Anything good? I read good shit, but nothing like out of the ordinary. Did I watch anything else? I feel like I went to the movies a bunch, but now that I'm thinking about it, I planned to go to the movies a second time this weekend and never went.
Yeah, I don't know. The only thing I'm watching right now is Attack on Titan. About 10 episodes or 11 episodes from the end.
Yeah.
It's
it
dope
looks
if you
cool.
like anime.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck it is about anime. That I can't get into it.
The art style doesn't blend well to many things for me.
Yeah.
It really doesn't work at all for anything that wants to be dramatic or realistic or tense. But it's fine in a sci-fi fantasy setting.
Oh, yeah. Peter David died this week.
Yeah.
I'm empty, but
that's sad.
Shout out. What the fuck were we just talking about?
Attack on Titan and anime.
Oh, anime. Yeah, I seriously have given it a shot. And there are things that I like,
right?
But as a whole, like it's a huge hurdle for me to get over. Like anytime I hear something is good.
Yeah,
like,
well,
it's anime. I'm like, but it's anime.
The first time I let somebody talk me into it because I was so bored. They guessed right. I liked it, and now I like anime. If they picked wrong,
yeah, you'd be like,
I'd still not give a shit about anime. Yeah, which is why I will never be the person to suggest you should do this one first. This will get you into it. With the exception of suggesting Studio Ghibli, because it's basically the Disney version of anime.
Yeah,
in fact,
I
Disney's
did almost pull the
US.
trigger on Princess Mononoke this week.
That one's more standard anime, I would say, than the family fun kind of the other ones.
All right, yeah, we watched Spirited Away, which I really liked.
That's that family fun ones.
Yeah,
you got that Kiki's Delivery Service, all those goofy ones. Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah, maybe I'll watch that one next.
Which has some, serious moments, but it's more fun and goofy Yeah, I would never suggest anything else though, because I don't know how you're gonna take Cowboy Bebop. I don't know. Do you like Gundam?
Oh, I love Cowboy Bebop.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've actually never seen Cowboy Bebop.
Speed Racer and Gigantor considered like I kind of got into Speed Racer for a little bit because it was on MTV for a while in the 90s.
Yeah, like animated anime. Yes.
Yeah.
But everybody's watched Pokemon, and that is anime.
Yeah. I never watched Gigantor. But I love Voltron. So like there is like hits and misses.
Yeah. Some of those are anime.
Yeah,
So
specifically
like
I love
anime?
Adult Swim in like 2004.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Like the prime of Adult Swim.
Yeah, when
It
like
just
Toonami was
getting
on,
its-
like
yeah.
every night, like 11 o'clock was Cowboy Bebop. No, I'm sorry, was it 11? Was Trigun? 11:30 was Cowboy Bebop. Then it was Reign the Conqueror, and I forget. There was some combination of those, and there was a fourth one in there that I don't remember. Lupin the Third, I think it was. And I would watch all of those when I'd come home. Like I worked at the video store at the time. I would come home from the video store and just watch all those fucking shows.
Adult Swim gave us some bomb shows. Frisky Dingo. I would swear by that show. If you've never seen it,
Yeah.
it's phenomenal. The entire premise is an alien came to Earth to destroy the Earth by building a giant rocket that's attached to the Earth that would push it into the sun.
All right.
But he can't finish it because he ran out of money.
Right.
End scene. Like, that's the whole premise for season 1.
I know I'm the only fan of this, but Rick and Morty came back last week. I haven't watched the newest one yet.
I've only seen clips, so I will not say the show is bad, but the things
The
people are
fandom is
using to
fucking-
sell it
Yeah.
is not that good.
It's one of
and
those
the
things
fan
where
base
like
sucks.
the fandom is taking so much away
Yeah.
from an actual like really smart, intelligent show because they latch on to the wrong things, like the dumb shit, like
yeah.
you know.
And I also just hate people who say, well, if you don't like it, it's because you don't get it.
Yeah.
No, let me explain. It's like, no, buddy, I cannot like it.
Yeah. It's just a preference. But I'm still hooked on that show.
I mean, at some point I'll check it out, I'm sure.
There are things in that show that I know would make people in our group just fucking die laughing.
Yeah.
Die hard, like,
Yeah.
I don't watch Rick and Morty people. Like, I know there are things in there that would make them die laughing.
God, the animatronics and the fucking practical effects here.
So much better than any fucking CGI werewolf. Fucking.
If for that alone, this
Yeah.
movie had to be at least a 7, you know?
Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, C-Lab, Harvey Birdman. That was like the way back.
I had the thing is, I was living on my own basically right after I turned 18, and I didn't watch a lot of TV. So, and then I left and didn't come back for like 2 years, where I didn't get to watch TV either.
Yeah, not a lot of TV at CCOT, so you haven't watched a lot of recent stuff.
No, I think that I've moved on to. So I've always had this policy for video games. It's that I will get the new console 4 or 5 years out, and I'll get the games that came out at launch day.
Yeah.
And I'll just work my way up because I'll always have the best technology at the time those games came out. All the kinks will have been worked out. There'll be patches and updates to the software.
Yeah.
There'll be firmware fixes for the hardware. So now I'm going to start doing that with media. I'm going to always be 4 or 5 years behind.
Yeah. When I bought my PS5, it was like I was really like, I'm like, I don't need a new system. Like, I don't need to go to the next gen.
Yeah.
But then like the pandemic happened. I'm like, I need a fucking PS5 right now.
I scratched that itch because I hadn't bought a Switch.
Yeah. Okay.
So during the pandemic, I got a Switch.
Yeah. So like I was just thinking the other day, I'm like, the PS5 is 5 years into its life already. Like, at most, it's got like 1 or 2 more, and then they're gonna release something else. So like, fuck, am I gonna upgrade again? I'm like, I barely
You
play
got to
it.
skip at least one generation when you're doing your
Yeah.
console upgrades.
But it's like for me though, it's weird because I mean, I'm literally have had a console since the Atari. Like, I had a fucking Atari 2600. I had the Atari the original Atari. Before that, And then I went from Atari right to I went to a Commodore fucking 164.
Nice.
And then a fucking Nintendo, Super Nintendo, like right up through today, like where I have the PS5.
I did not have the original Nintendo when it came out as new, but it was my first console.
Yeah.
And I was like maybe 8, so that would have been 94, 93, 94, somewhere in there.
Why did I just go off of our stream? What the fuck? We froze. Yeah, I don't know what that was about.
Are we back? I'm on ads, so I can't tell.
Yeah,
this looks good, but
it says we're still streaming. Yeah, no, I was rocking an Atari and like my computer up until '88 is when I first got a Nintendo.
okay.
And then like once I got old, like Super Nintendo. At that point, I was dependent on getting them for like Christmas or like a birthday.
Right.
But once I was able to like buy systems, oh yeah, as soon as that shit came out, I'm fucking buying it.
Oh, by the time I was buying my own systems, it would have been when did PS3 come out? That was the equivalent to the 360, or
that was like 2007. I'm gonna say.
Okay, yeah, so a little after. So
Yeah.
I was in the Xbox 360. Would have been the first thing I might have bought for myself, and it would have been a few years old.
Yeah. The first system I ever bought for myself was probably... When did I buy a PlayStation?
A little before I bought.
I bought it like years after it came out because I had a Nintendo 64, which again I got as like a Christmas present. And then like when PlayStation was like super cheap, you can get one for like $50.
Yeah.
Fuck, why don't I own one? Actually, no. The first system I ever bought for myself. This is deep cut elder nerd shit. The Sega Genesis 32X.
I don't even think I've ever heard of that.
Most people haven't. Because it was pretty much a piece of shit.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
It's the Dreamcast of that generation.
Yeah. No, these were so cheap at one point. Well, I'll explain what they were. It was an attachment for the Genesis. Did I buy my Genesis? I think I bought my Genesis, actually. Because I think I was working. Yeah, I had a job. I started working when I was like 15. So like I 15-year-old with no responsibilities and a paycheck. Fucking yeah, I'm buying video games.
Video games.
I forgot where the 32X. Yeah, so fucking it was an attachment that plugged into the top of the Genesis. It was like a whole like second deck that went on top of it. You plugged it in, and it converted the Genesis from 16 to 32 bits. And it came with like Virtua Fighter. There was a Star Wars, like the old Star Wars arcade game. There was a version of that on there with like upgraded graphics and stuff. There was a they made Sonic and Knuckles, I think, for the 32X. I don't remember. No, I think Sonic and Knuckles was also just around that time. But fucking, they didn't make a whole lot of games for it. And they broke so quickly. They would just stop working. That the reason I bought it is because they were so cheap at one point. You could get the ones with like Virtua Fighter for $29.99, or the ones without a game for $19.99. So whenever it broke, I just bought a $19.99 one and fucking replaced it. Because the Star Wars game was awesome.
Yeah, and they knew remastering back then. Just re-release the game on the new system.
That's exactly what it was.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
Take your 10 most selling games, release those remastered on launch day.
Yeah. Yeah, shit. That was way the fuck. This is how far back it was. I used to buy them at Toys R Us.
Oh, okay. Well, they were around for a while.
Yeah.
TJ Lamb bought a new Atari 2600 for the first system.
Damn. No, I always just had an Atari. From like the time I was like 3. I mean, we always just had like I don't remember ever getting it. It was just there. Yeah, no, I could play that Star Wars arcade game when I was like 3 or 4. Fucking, yeah, like well. Yeah.
I just remember, playing Gauntlet and loving that, Original Nintendo was so good.
It was fun, god damn it.
Simple and fun. Start here, go there, for a lot of the games.
Here, you're an Italian plumber. Go break those bricks.
Kill those turtles.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I just rewatched the animated Super Mario movie.
Oh, yeah.
From 2023 or 2024, that one. Because I wanted to show it to Sam. And he was all right with it, and it was better than I remember. I remember thinking, this kind of sucked.
Yeah.
But no, it was pretty decent.
Yeah. Does he have any awareness of Mario? Is that why he just wasn't
He knows who Mario is, yeah.
Okay.
He knows Peach, he knows Toadstool. He doesn't play the games except for racing, Mario Kart.
Yeah. But
he watches so much YouTube, and those characters come up in context and out of context a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, my nephew said bet to me the other day. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I told you some of the things my kid says.
Yeah.
If something is wrong, it's not wrong. It's just a happy accident.
Yeah, no,
What the fuck does that mean?
I guess in Florida, you have to take a test to graduate your grade to move on to the next grade.
Okay.
And he passed, so I just texted him hey, I heard you did good on your test. Good job. I'll buy you something at Comic-Con when we go in August. And he just texted me back, okay, bet. The fuck does that mean?
You know what though? And this is gonna hurt. That's closer to his slang.
Yeah.
It's gonna be than to yours.
Exactly.
You are way removed from that. Although that one's getting old, so they're gonna replace that soon.
Yeah, if I know about that slang, it's gotta be old.
Right, that's my point. Yeah. Shit's dead now.
Joust. That was a fun game. Spy Hunter was awesome too.
The first Spy Hunter I actually played was the Xbox version.
Really?
Which was still a top-down, exact same thing. It's just way better graphics.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd never played Spy Hunter before that.
Oh, I used to play in the arcade at, fucking, here we go again, dating myself. Hoffman's Playland.
Hey, again, that was around for quite a while.
You need to successfully make meth to graduate in Florida. Yep. Ding, 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 ding.
It's painful how accurate that is. Statistically speaking, if you don't have a master's degree in Florida, you probably have a meth degree.
And if you do have a master's degree in Florida, congratulations.
Run a meth lab.
Yeah, you're the smartest person in the state. Big shout out to all our fans in Florida.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why that made me think of this. Bert Kreischer is Florida State Seminole. That's where his alma mater.
Yeah.
And he has the whole thing about being the machine.
Yeah.
And so I have never read his full story recollecting. I've heard this comedy special about it, but I've never read a book where he describes it or anything.
Yeah, I don't think he has ever. It's just the story.
Yeah, but that story, now I'm wondering if he just didn't understand, because I'm practicing Russian on Duolingo just because I was bored.
Yeah.
And the word for man is mushina.
Yeah, he even says that.
Oh, so how much you want to bet they're just calling him the man?
No. He said he meant to say, I am the cool man or something like that. And the word for man, he says mushina.
Yeah.
But the way he said it, it came out as I forgot how you say machine.
Okay, yeah.
But that's what they picked, I am the machine. That's what they picked up on.
Okay, he said that back?
He fucked it up, yeah.
I missed that. All right. So then he already did cover that. A meth major means a speech impediment in Florida means you have a career path in politics.
Let's see. Anything else before we get out of here?
What do we got coming up? Anything?
We have show-wise or
everything.
We will be at Dark Forest Oddities in September.
Okay. I couldn't remember the date. I keep looking, and I'm you're going to tell me it's the worst possible date. I know it.
It's the first Saturday
it's fine.
in September.
It's fine. Yeah. I just kept thinking, he's going to tell me, the weekend I just agreed to stay home alone while everybody else goes to Canada. That's the weekend it's going to be.
No, I think it's either September 2nd or it's the first Saturday in September.
Good.
It is in Peabody, Massachusetts, just outside of Salem. So if you're out that way, come out and check us out, or come out and check us out if you're not out that way. Head out that way to see us. And you can go to Salem when you're done seeing us. It's a pretty fun city to check out.
Yes, indeedy. Never been.
It's not a bad time. Not a bad time. That is in September. I'm sure we'll have other stuff coming up.
Definitely.
I just have to get unlazy and reach out to some folks. But am I thinking? Forget about anything? Nothing we can announce yet.
No, we don't have anything else to really like hard dates and times.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we'll throw some social media stuff at you. Oh fuck, I have to do the goddamn plugs, don't I?
Womp womp.
You can check out our website, which sucks balls. If you
It's better than the Regrettable Views one.
Yeah, if you know how to design websites, we are in desperate need of help.
I've been looking at Fiverr, to be honest.
But you can check out that website at bigdumbmonsters.com if you're really dying to listen to an audio version of the show with no video. That's the place to do it. Or on your favorite podcast platform, you can find us there. You should check us out there, rate us, review us, subscribe on all available platforms. I really don't know Nick's half of the plugs. You can reach out to us at bigdumbmonsters@gmail.com. That's one of them. I know that.
We have a link tree that will get you all of this. It's linktr.ee/bigdumbmonsters.
That's why he's the producer. And then I'll do my plugs because those I can actually remember.
Mm-hmm.
You can check us out on Instagram and Threads at big_dumb_monsters. When we do this show live, as we do every Monday night at 7:45, except for last week, we did it on Tuesday. We'll blame Nick. Again, that was part of the prisoner swap.
So TJ put most of the plugs in the chat, but at the end, of course, every Monday night, 7:45 on YouTube and Twitch, and then they put 2 extra email addresses, Art and his pearls at savegraceanatomy.com and J. Everett Thunderpenis at Joni Ernst mortuaries.org.
There is this statement has nothing to do with politics, but there is nothing funnier than someone trying to apologize for a fuck up and making the fuck up even worse.
What did I miss?
You didn't know about the Joni Ernst thing?
No. Oh, wait. She's the one who said,
we're all gonna die.
Everybody dies. Yeah,
so
okay.
she
That's
made
dumbass.
an apology video where she's doing this while she's walking through a cemetery. Like fucking
It's not a joke, right? She's
no,
serious?
she did this seriously.
Oh my god.
And she's like, I misspoke. I didn't realize I had to explain this at this town hall. I also didn't realize I had to explain the tooth fairy to people. Like she's just mocking the people who are genuinely outraged by her saying we're all gonna die. And it's just fucking you just digging that hole deeper. Like, just, holy shit! Like yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna look up that video.
Yeah.
Watching that later.
Like, you can't parody half of the fucking things that happen to us on a daily basis because they're so fucking crazy and batshit loon. Anyway.
I believe in time travel or the simulation theory at this point because nothing else explains this bizarre world we're living in.
CERN. Yeah.
CERN did this.
Yeah. Anyway, you can check out the show when we stream it live on Monday nights at 7:45 on Twitch and YouTube at Big Dumb Monsters on both of those platforms. Again, stop by there, subscribe, like some videos while you're there. You should check out our merch store at TeePublic. You can search for the Big Dumb Monsters store there. I haven't thrown up any artwork recently. We have the new not network, but company name. I have to change that design also because it is strikingly similar to another local horror themed thing.
Go ahead and pull back on that real quick.
Yeah.
Don't want too many episodes with that on it.
Exactly. So come look for a new logo coming soon for the network.
Glad we didn't sticker that one. Or,
yeah. And we get the same spot every week. That's the end of the plugs. Those are all my plugs. We will be back next week. You gonna be here?
I'd have to check my schedule. I'm in firefighter school, not in CCOT.
I remember when my dad went to firefighter school.
And he never came back, right?
For 3 to 5 years.
What is that, the 9th?
Yeah, today's the 7th. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be
Oh,
here.
all right.
The 9th?
Art will be back in the producer chair next week.
Yeah.
Don't let Ghoul... Oh, we'll get there. We're not done with the show yet. We're trying to fucking ease our way out, TJ. God damn.
Fuck. I know what to say.
Yeah. But yeah, no, Art will be back next week. I believe we'll have our lawyers will have gotten Nick out of CCOT.
We're working on it. He was easier to get out than me. That's why we had to trade someone.
Anyway, we're gonna drop some advice, and then we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Never let ghoulies eat your ass.
Don't
Don't let ghoulies eat your ass.
Never sleep in a deathbed.
Bye-bye. I did it, Bridget.
Our mics are still on. All right, folks, we're really leaving now.